no helicopters have been procured for me to go to golf course. Thank you.
I never said he wasn't a great politician. I'm just saying he's a golfer.
It's supposed to be an interview.
How'd you play out there today?
Well, I found the conditions challenging, mostly because there's no grass on the golf course, but there never has been.
I'm thinking about the swag bag, and I have high hopes for the swag bag.
Trash. When you got 3 crevices on the green, your course is trash.
What's going on, folks? Welcome back. Beltway Golfer, episode 30. Alex Dixon here. Another fun episode. This one is all about the United States Girls Junior Golf Championship, which is kicking off this morning. The date of this podcast getting published, Monday, July 12th, in Chevy Chase, Maryland at Columbia Country Club. It's going to be going on for 5 days through Saturday. 156 young athletes, which will be pared down to 64 after a couple days in match play, finishing on Saturday the 17th. Columbia Country Club, the historic club right outside of DC on Connecticut Avenue in Chevy Chase, Maryland, was kind enough to invite me out to sit down with head pro Bob Dolan and two of the committee members within the club responsible for helping put on this event, Molly LeBlanc and Jesse McCollum. And the three of us sat down they've got a little gazebo sitting area overlooking the 16th green at Columbia, and we talked about what went into putting this event on, the preparation, getting the event in the first place from the USGA, the history of Columbia Country Club, the challenges with the pandemic and COVID, and just kind of getting this all together and what to expect from the event. It is open to attendees. You don't need a ticket. Go to the USGA website I think they've got some parking information there, but the public is welcome to come out, walk the grounds at Columbia and see these great young girls that are just some of the world's best at golf compete for a national championship. At the time of the taping, qualifying had been done, but we didn't have all the names of who was going to be competing. But there's some big ones. I think it's highlighted by the number one women's amateur in the world right now, and Rose Zhang, who is the defending U.S. women's amateur champion, which took place right up the road in 2020 at Woodmont Country Club in Rockville, Maryland. So she's I guess you'd say she's highlighting the event from a household name standpoint if you're a golf head. But some other big names: Alexa Pano, who's a well-decorated American junior golfer out of Florida; Amari Avery, who is also extremely well-decorated, well known from the documentary The Short Game, where she was one of the stars and is likely going on to an LPGA career. But there's 156 players from all over the world. I think they said 13 different countries are represented. Ages range from as young as 12 years old up to 18. Anybody under the age of 19 can qualify for this tournament. So I'm certainly excited to come out and check out the tournament at least one day. As well as see it on TV on the Golf Channel on Friday and Saturday. Again, for this episode, I sat down with Bob Dolan, the pro here at Columbia Country Club, as well as Molly LeBlanc, who's the co-chair of putting on the event for the club, and she talks a lot about just the process of putting this whole thing together, and Jesse McCollum, who is also part of the committee within Columbia Country Club and was instrumental in putting this podcast together. So here it is, Beltway Golfer, episode 30, all about the U.S. Girls National Golf Championship at Columbia Country Club. All right, welcome everyone. We're out here at Columbia Country Club in Chevy Chase, Maryland, joined by three folks: Molly LeBlanc, Bob Dolan, Jesse McCollum. Why don't we start off with introduce yourselves and your roles or titles, or however you want to introduce yourself.
I'm Molly LeBlanc. I am the co-chair of the Girls Junior Tournament. Been sitting in this role for 3 years now.
Excellent.
excited for the tournament to happen.
Absolutely.
I'm Bob Dolan, head golf professional at Columbia Country Club.
And I'm Jesse McCollum. I've been a member at Columbia now for 9+ years, and I'm helping with the media and marketing for the tournament.
So you just touched on the main reason I'm here and out here recording the podcast is we're recording this on Tuesday the 6th, and the big tournament, big event next week is the U.S. Girls Junior Championship, which starts, what day does it actually officially kick off?
Monday the 12th.
Monday the 12th, and it'll last through that week, so 5 or 6 days of play. The U.S. Girls Junior Championship has been going on for quite a number of years, correct?
Yeah, we're hosting the 72nd.
72nd. And I did a little research on it. There's some big names that won in the past. Lexi Thompson, Amy Anderson, Inbee Park, I saw one. So excited for the list of athletes to come and test Columbia Country Club. So Bob, question for you. Maybe you could fill us in a little bit. You know, Columbia Country Club has been around for a long time, one of the storied clubs in the DMV, in the DC area. Maybe walk us through a little bit of history on the club.
Well, certainly the club was founded in 1898, and we've been here at this location since 1910, and we look forward to this will be our third USGA event, and really how we got to hosting the U.S. Junior Girls was we wanted a celebration for our 100-year anniversary of hosting the United States Open, which happened in 1921. So we contacted the USGA, and they were delighted to hear from us. And fortunately for us, the U.S. Junior Girls Championship was still available, and we jumped at the opportunity to host it and to keep the great history of Columbia and the USGA alive and well.
That's fantastic. So a 100-year anniversary of hosting the U.S. Open in 1921. Who won that U.S. Open in 1921?
Jim Barnes.
Jim Barnes. And so you mentioned this was the third tournament to host. The second, so we had 1921 U.S. Open. This is the third. What was the second tournament hosted here at Columbia Country Club?
In 2003, we actually hosted the United States Junior Boys Championship.
And that was won by
by
someone
Brian.
that's pretty well known.
Yeah, Brian Harman, who's really doing great things on a PGA Tour. So, you know, having the opportunity this year, just like in 2003, to watch the future stars of golf was really quite amazing for the club, because you just never know where these kids are going to go next. And to watch them succeed on the PGA Tour, 7 players that played in the United States Junior Boys went on to play the PGA Tour, and Brian Harman and Webb Simpson really highlight that list.
Excellent. Yeah, I don't know if it's coming up in the picture if anyone's watching this, but I took a couple photos. We've got a framed picture with, is this the entire field autographed, the 2003 tournament? Webb Simpson, Brian Harman. There was a couple others on the tour that you had named earlier, right?
Yeah, there was quite a few. Patrick Azar, he's doing great things on the tour, and
Kyle Stanley.
Kyle Stanley, PGA Tour winner, sure.
Who came to town a couple years ago. I know you do a lot of work and talk to the first tee. He came to town a couple years ago, and the first thing he asked me when I said I was a member of Columbia was, that 17th hole when you go that uphill, that short par 4. I mean, he remembered it like it was yesterday. It was crazy to me that he could remember that 12 years earlier. But anyway,
that's exciting. So the anniversary that prompted reaching out to USGA. What was there? I'm kind of curious. Like, what's that process look like? Like, did they jump at the opportunity? Is there a long kind of application or vetting process to become the host of a USGA tournament?
Well, I think the opportunity really presented itself. We presented it to them, and keep in mind certain things that we take for granted here is this is the nation's capital, so it's a wonderful draw for the participants. 156 girls will come here. They'll bring their families, and what a great destination to have a golf tournament. And I think really due in large part to the success that the membership, we presented in 2003 a wonderful championship, and our committees were well organized, and we're continuing that success moving into this tournament. So I think they were delighted to hear back from us, and we were delighted to work with them.
Excellent. So once you get awarded the tournament, and maybe this is a question for you, Molly, but when does preparation start? Like, when does, these are big events. If I'm correct, Golf Channel is going to be out here filming. This is 7 days. The course is essentially, imagine, shut down to membership. It's the tournament. When talk about the preparation a little bit.
Well, I was asked to be the co-chair. Chris Lamond is my partner in crime for this tournament. And he asked me to join him, and because he felt pretty strongly about having a female be part of this tournament, and happily accepted. And we started 3 years ago, and we sort of handpicked a host committee because we had to have somebody in charge of every little facet. And there's 15 different committee chairs, and they all have co-chairs. So there's about 30 people that we work with. And, it's just putting in the time, recruiting the volunteers, doing the stuff. We have over 300 volunteers, mostly membership, but there's some from outside the membership that are supporting the tournament. And then we also, you got to raise...
In what ways? I'm just curious. What are some things the volunteers need to do?
Marshals and four caddies, driving range, being out there, security, got to make sure that nobody goes in the girls' lounge, player lounge, filling water bottles, filling up on the tee boxes. So. Got it.
I touched on it for a second. So, Golf Channel is coming out to do. Do you know? Do we know the schedule, or like what days they're going to be?
Yeah. So 4 hours Friday. So they'll cover the semifinal matches, and then Saturday they'll start live film in the afternoon. So the second round of the final match. It's a 36-hole final.
Does that require any special preparation? Having television cameras? Are they doing? I'm used to watching the PGA and LPGA on Saturdays and Sundays or weekends, and they usually get the tower and everything. I mean, do you know the extent of what
we do? Yeah, out in our maintenance area, there's a big parking pad, and they'll have all their big trucks parked out there. They'll have a fleet of golf carts that will be filming and following the girls throughout the week, taking pre-footage. We'll have a tower set up here between the gazebo and the flagpole to watch them come in. Basically, they'll be able to see them hit their putts on 15, tee off on 16. Tee off on 16 and finish on 16 green, and then also hit their tee shot on 17. Wow. So it'll be nice. There'll be lots of really pretty pictures and good coverage from up in the tower. And we don't know who's covering we don't know who's going to be sitting in the tower yet. That's the to be determined. They haven't shared that one with us yet.
If the actual tournament play itself starts next Monday, do they get an opportunity to come in other practice rounds? They come in. Have you started to see any of the competitors come in?
I think Bob's
they
seen
start
them
the registration is Friday, starting at noon. Practice rounds are Saturday and Sunday, and then the bell rings and qualifying starts, and we pare the field down to 64, and matches start soon thereafter.
Right.
So you told me as we were walking in, what the whole field? What is the field number?
156.
156. So then that first kind of cut line, or when they pare down is how many you said?
They cut down to 64.
And then it goes into match play.
Then it goes into match play.
But we've seen a lot of the girls coming out getting practice rounds leading up. I mean, I know Bob's seen quite a few of the girls come through.
And we had we have three girls who qualified here 2 Mondays ago that'll also be in the field. So
you hosted a qualifying tournament?
We did on the 21st. No, 14th. Yeah, the 21st we hosted a qualifier, and 3 girls. I think 35, 36 come out to play for 3 slots, and it was a great day.
So Columbia Country Club, as I looked it up, was originally designed by Herbert Barker, but then very soon after was redesigned, as I understand, pretty significantly by Walter Travis. Does membership, do they refer to this as kind of a Walter Travis golf course?
Yeah, Walter Travis gets most of the credit.
Got it. Okay.
We've made some design changes through the years, little tweaks here and there, just really to moving some bunkers so that we can put them in the landing areas that exist today, as opposed to years ago. But I think that Walter, out of all the people that have had a hand in this golf course, is he's the headliner.
Sure, that'll interest. I know a lot of the usual listeners to this podcast. I've done some interviews with the folks at National Links Trust in East Potomac, and East Potomac's a well-known Walter Travis design. So there's some relevance and linkage there. When you are hosting a tournament of this size, and I don't know if the fact that they're juniors impacts it at all, the fact that they're females impacts it at all. I don't know. But is there much specific preparation to the course itself? Are you changing anything to tee boxes, or I don't know, anything like that?
So first of all, we have a very active golf program at this golf course. I mean, this is a golfers club, and mostly a walking club. That said, we did pull carts off the course about 2 weeks ago. We have members are happily hitting off mats into some areas where off mats to protect some of the landing areas where we feel like the girls may be hitting into, and what the USGA asked from us was to give them a blank canvas when we shut the golf course down, I think on Thursday, and they'll arrange the hole positions and the tee boxes and things like that. But I think, as opposed to what you hear about sometimes courses needing to do a lot of work and physical construction and things like that, I think that most days these girls could show up and play a tournament here. Most people could show up and play a tournament here any day of the week.
Sure.
Because
we did add one tee box though on number 6.
Okay.
Yeah, we did add a new tee box on. We moved it. Yeah.
From a strategy perspective, or was there a distance issue, or?
I think that more just moving it a little centered so it's better visually. Okay. Where the tee box was far over on the left-hand side of the fairway. So I think just visually, and I think moving forward, I think the membership is really going to enjoy that tee box as well.
Oh, so that's a permanent.
It is a permanent fixture now. Yeah.
What about the membership? I'm not a member of a private club myself, but I've heard from anecdotally other clubs hosting big tournaments that when a course is shut down for a week for an event, I'm sure the vast majority of the membership is excited and can be more, but I guess my question is, how has the membership supported an event like this?
Well, I can say I think everybody is just excited for it. I don't think that anybody is sad to have sure, we all are going to miss our course for a week, but we're hosting a national televised event. Everybody's really proud of Columbia. The membership has stepped up from a financial position, because when you host an event like this, not only does it cost the USGA a lot of money, but it also costs the hosting club. And our membership has donated just over $300,000 in various ways through, a 21 society that we created on, the anniversary of the 1921 U.S. Open, 100 years. So we have this, special society that people could support the tournament with. We've had a fundraising dinner. We've had various levels of sponsorship opportunities for advertising and whatnot, and the membership has just come to serve and to help us. So we're really fortunate.
That's great to hear. In 2003 was there television coverage?
Yes, there was.
There was. So I imagine, is this the first time Columbia Country Club will be on national television since then?
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any added, pressure that that the spotlight's going to be on, the bright lights of the TV cameras to make sure that we hear the sprinklers and going off right now? Is there any extra pressure?
Well, I think that Jesse said it well before. This is a championship golf course out there, and we take great pride in presenting it that way on a daily basis. And our crew has been busy to prepare it for this championship. So I think it's an opportunity for them to showcase their great skill set, and that's what's really the most impressive thing. They take a sense of pride because they know it's going to be on TV, and they want to make sure that the star shines bright.
Did I read recently that Columbia just got a new head superintendent.
We did, yes.
Is it from Congressional?
Congressional Country Club, Matt Sumpner.
Excellent. When did he start?
He started about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow. So he kind of comes right into a big event.
Ta-da!
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, and I think also one of the great parts about the membership understands, and I think as a host committee we understand that the future of this game is female. We need to, and we want to shine a light on these players and shine a light on girls golf, and it's important. And I think that if you listen to any of the LPGA stars now, when somebody asks how can we best support women's golf, most of the time they say watch us on TV and support the programs. And this is a great way for our club to not only showcase the best junior girls golfers, but to also make a good investment and in what we see as being the future of the game.
Yeah, I imagine you must have a lot of junior golfers that not necessarily the ones or that any of them are playing in the tournament or even try to qualify, but that are just family members of membership and get out here and play quite a bit. Is that
very active junior program here?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So that certainly sets a great example, just kind of showing that this is a priority. Is there any, I guess I'm curious, does Columbia have, not getting ahead of ourselves here, maybe I'll put this at the end, but aspirations to host future tournaments?
Well, I think that
Molly's retiring after this. I don't know. Only Molly will do it again.
I'll be a volunteer. Oh, wait, I am.
I guess I asked the question. You hear about some clubs, not even necessarily locally, but maybe a junior tournament is sometimes a stepping stone to host bigger and larger, and with an eventual goal of hosting majors, whether they be male or female. But is that those kind of aspirations here, or not the case at all?
yeah, I think that the girls' junior is a good fit, just like the boys' junior was a good fit. I think that there's some limitations, space limitations out there, both for the bigger events require a lot more activity around the clubhouse and fans and things of that nature. So I don't think that we're in our sweet spot right now. And I think to Jesse's point, I think that something that's maybe senior oriented or women's golf oriented, I think is probably the best fit for our course, just based on our yardage and what we can really handle.
What is that? You mentioned USGA will be setting up the tees and the pin locations, but ballpark, what will the yardage be of the course that the girls will be playing?
My understanding is they're going to be between 6 and 6,100. Yeah.
The course generally, as I understand it, and full disclosure, I've played this course once and it was in high school, so it's been a while. But that Columbia is not the longest course in the world. Even for members, from the tips, what does it measure out at?
6,800 yards.
That's pretty stout.
Pretty stout. The difficulty with Columbia is defense is in the greens. Greens have a lot of slope, and they're normally played with snip meter readings in 12.5 to 13.5 for the member play. Mm-hmm. And I think that creates a list of challenges for the average golfer. And then I think the other thing that's deceiving yardage-wise is you're always driving into hills, and
right.
Your lies are
never flat.
Never flat, right? So.
Yeah, you
So
can
I
see
think
just looking over our shoulder, not a lot of flat areas on this course.
Yeah.
Right.
Columbia definitely makes you a better golfer, I believe. I think it.
And as we were chatting earlier, you, either Jesse or Bob, mentioned that in recent years, a lot of work was done to the course to improve drainage and that sort of thing. Can you talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, we've did a very large project this past winter around drainage. Just over 110 years, amazing that just natural erosion of land. And so we've done that, and we are going to be doing some major improvements to the golf course moving forward. But we've also done a strategic some strategic work around bunkering to improve and to upgrade the bunkers. And we had a very large government-sponsored construction project that cut through a couple of holes that we needed to do some work on the 2nd and 14th holes. but those have been a couple 3 seasons ago, and they're growing in nicely and everything. I think frankly they're better holes in some regard than they were beforehand. So again, I think it's going to be it'll be a great challenge all the way around.
Has that had? We talked about it for a moment, and it's easy to Google what that government project that you're referring to, a certain metro line that is still far from built. But has that? You mentioned that you view 2 and 14 as almost better holes. Well, how did that? Did you have to cut off to take a significant amount of acreage from the course, or not too much?
It wasn't really acreage. It was really just the fact that it was a wider. They needed a wider piece of land, and so on 14 we pushed the green back about 15 yards, but made it kind of up the challenge a little bit by increasing the dog leg and also changing some bunkering, and also used to be you ran up the 14th hole, you could run something up kind of from as wide as the green was, and now we've choked that off. I shouldn't say we. I was not out here with a backhoe, so forming the green. But the architect did that, and then on 2 we moved it. It's a little bit more of the hole goes a little more left to right now than it used to, and we cleared out some trees, and really made it a longer hole. We put a new tee box in. And I think we'll to add some distance to the hole as well. So it's been all in all been great.
Are there any certain holes for viewers that are watching on Golf Channel? Are there any holes that you think will give the girls particular trouble, or ones to keep an eye out for?
Well, it's the high handicap in this group. Let me just say that every hole will have potential trouble, but I'll let the scratch golfers in the group talk a little bit more about that.
Well, it's funny you asked that question because we were talking about it last night at dinner. I was with our reps from the USGA last night, and they're going to use all 3 tee boxes on number 4 on different days. And that, I think, will be really interesting because it'll be anywhere.
Tell us about number 4. What is number 4?
Number 4 is a par 3.
Okay.
And they said that it's going to play between 150 and 190, depending on what tee box they use. So the stroke play days, I think they're going to keep it a little shorter to keep the pace of play up. But they're definitely, as the week goes on, going to use the further back tee boxes and really, push these girls to perform.
As they should.
And I would just say on the 4th hole, too, I mean, it's funny. Sometimes, members just out in normal matches, we'll go all the way back to the tips on 4. It's 240 on the card, but it plays more like 260. And we'll play it as a short par 4, and then play another hole as a par 3, and because it's all match play and things like that. I mean, that hole's tough.
That hole's
4th hole is
really
a
tough,
very
yeah.
difficult hole. Always plays into the wind too.
Which hole is it? Am I getting it right? Is it 16, a par 3 that legend has it is
right behind us?
Is the model for Golden Bell at Augusta?
Yes.
Is that an accurate anecdote?
Well, that's our story.
And you're sticking to it.
We are.
Well, excellent. What about for most of the listeners? Typically, are this being the Beltway Golfer podcast, are local golfers. Is attendance allowed? Can folks that are not connected to membership are they allowed to come, or is it strictly TV?
No.
Well, with COVID, this has all been a process. If you would have asked me that question 3 months ago, I would have said, nope, nobody's coming. But with Montgomery County lifting their restrictions, we can say, yes, please come out, please come watch the tournament. Yeah.
And any day, Monday through Sunday, is open?
Monday through Saturday. Everybody's
Monday
gone
through
Sunday.
Yep. Oh, Monday through Saturday. Don't come Sunday.
And they can go to the USGA website, Junior Girls website, and to track down information on parking and how to get here, logistics, everything like that.
Yeah.
Got it. Molly, you mentioned, or you touched on COVID a bit. Has the pandemic and COVID, and how has that impacted the preparation for the tournament, and how do you think it will impact the tournament as it happens?
Where do we begin?
Well, I think the credit really goes to all the committee chairs, because in normal circumstances, we would have gone to Colorado last year, and we would have done observation. We would have been part of a future sites team that travels to, if not 2 before, 1 before, you host. And, you know, our members didn't have that opportunity because of COVID.
We didn't touch on that. So last year's tournament was canceled because of COVID.
Yes.
That's correct.
And I also didn't ask, how long ago were you actually awarded the tournament?
Well, 3 years ago.
3 years.
Yeah, 3 years ago
To
we
your
were.
point, there was a lot of preparation, that opportunity that was missed.
We were
Right.
supposed to be hosting the 73rd annual, and this is backtracked to the 72nd.
So a couple of things that go into it. Last year, they had the United States Amateur at Woodmont, Women's Amateur at Woodmont. The champion will be playing in this field. But what a great opportunity for our membership to go down to Rockville, Maryland, nearby. We have a great relationship with Woodmont Country Club. I think both committees were really looking forward to exchanging notes and creating strategies. But, you know, boom, here's COVID. So, you know, we're doing a lot of these things on Zoom and instead of going to the site and visiting, not being able to go to the junior in Colorado last year. You know, I think that put our members at a disadvantage, but to watch the way that they've overcome and how they've rallied, and all our committee chairs have just done such a tremendous job. Because keep in mind, it's a whole and fresh group. I mean, there's not too many people around that were involved in 2003. And to Jesse's point earlier, you know, this is a golfers club. So I think that really shines out because our members have participated in a lot of golf events through the years. And they know the things that they're looking for when they come to a facility. And to watch all that come to fruition for me has really been quite exciting, and it makes you very proud of the group that we put together, and really looking forward to it because they overcame all those challenges that COVID presented.
Is there much? I didn't ask this, but you know, you've got a beautiful and you know, historic clubhouse here. Aside from locker rooms, are there many events that involve the tournament and the girls inside the, like, how is the clubhouse impacted?
Well, so we actually, part of the COVID decisions was the USGA opted not to host the welcome party for the girls. So, and that was decided over a year ago. I mean, right at the beginning of COVID, they were just like, we're not doing that. So, you know, there's other opportunities. In the registration, we're trying to do some things to make it feel like they're in the nation's capital. We'll have step and repeats up so the girls can take their selfies and their pictures with their girlfriends and post it on Instagram and do their social media stuff. Down in the locker room, we have a nation's capital themed like lounge for them so that, again, they can, you know, have their own space and do their things. Upstairs, the clubhouse will be closed to the membership. That'll be where we feed all the volunteers, the players, etc. And then downstairs...
That's a massive undertaking in itself, I imagine, you know, with 300 or so, or however many volunteers.
That's part of the fundraising dollars. But downstairs, the membership will still be allowed to use the facilities, the pool. Our dining next to the pool will still be open to them. Our grill room will be the lounge for the 21 Society that I had referred to earlier. And then we'll also have some temporary dining in the Columbia room for some of the players and volunteers. So,
Jesse, almost at the beginning of this conversation, you brought up the first tee, and first tee is actually how we got introduced. Can any of you talk a little bit about Columbia Country Club's relationship with the first tee and what you do with them?
Well, the club's been involved since the beginning with the first tee, and we've had several members, Jesse included, that have served on the board of the first, or serving on the board of directors of the first tee, and through the years we've been very, very engaged. This year, we really stepped it up a notch, and we offered 2 honorary guest privileges to 2 first tee children. Dominique and Miles were awarded the privileges, and you know, we had six candidates, and they were fortunate enough to win out, and they're out here today actually playing golf and taking advantage of this golf course as we prepare for the junior. And we're really excited to have both of them on board at Columbia, and we hope that it's something that other clubs take note, and we can watch the program expand.
So do you host first tee programs, teaching programs for members, children of the membership, or outside of that? Do you any of that yet?
We haven't done that. A lot of our professional staff has volunteered as instructors in the past. Most of that activity is downtown. But we felt like this was the best way for us to impact two golfers specifically, where they can have access to using our golf course. And again, what our really clinics are great, but clinics set the hook, and then the kids really want to pursue the game, and where do they play? And we felt like we could really target that problem, and we created this program specifically to identify two kids that could really take full advantage of having access to such a great place.
That's excellent. And maybe you touched on this, I apologize if I'm repeating, but was that was that merit-based? Was that something they won? How were those two chosen?
They applied.
They applied,
Yeah,
and
okay.
we went through, just I'd like to say it's a rigorous process, but no. We went through a very good process in conjunction with the Columbia Foundation and the First Tee, and awarded these scholarships. And the membership has really enjoyed meeting and interacting with these kids already, and they're just great. I've been on the range with both of them and gotten to spend time with both of them already so far. I've not gotten a chance to play yet, but it was great on Friday. I saw about 6 o'clock, over here at the chairs, there was probably 75 or 100 people, and Dominique came walking up with a couple other playing partners, and it was great, and she, got introduced to her. It was just great. It's a really great scene. More clubs, and I need to pick up this challenge and this mantle to do this, because it's a great program for these kids and for us. And
now that attendees and patrons are welcome for the event, I would think we'll have to talk to Clint Sanchez, the executive director of Greater Washington D.C., that he'll probably bring some folks from the program by to see the best young girls in the country play the game.
I think we have some volunteering, actually.
Oh, you do? Oh, cool.
I believe we do.
Well, they're going to actually, we're so proud of the program, and we're really, really proud of both Miles and Dominique, that they're going to be part of the opening ceremonies. And when we kick off the tournament, they're going to be helping us kick it off.
And hit the first tee shots.
They're going to hit the first tee shots, along with our honorary star, Leno Martinez. And should be a great day. And we have several participants from the Yellow Ribbon Fund that will be representing as well.
Exactly.
Do you know when those first tee shots? Did they have a first tee time for next Monday yet?
7 a.m. is the first tee time, so opening ceremonies will be at 6:45.
Excellent.
It'll be recorded, don't worry.
Tell us again one more time, the TV coverage is, you said?
Friday and Saturday.
Which
is the 16th and 17th.
16th and 17th,
Yep.
Friday and Saturday. Okay.
Absolutely.
Check your local listings.
Exactly.
Right. Right. Love to say that.
Well, thanks again. This has been terrific. Can't wait for the event, and I'm sure the golfing community around DC and the nation are excited to see Columbia Country Club in the spotlight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Us too. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you for your
Appreciate it.
support.
I don't have a good golf game, but I don't really care. I'm a regular dude living in DC, and I want to know about DC-centric golf stuff. If you can tell me something that I don't already know, then that is great for me. I don't want the regular stuff. I want exciting stuff. I want different stuff. I want stuff I can't hear elsewhere. But I want it to be about DC golf.